Uh, yeah, so you can go on now. Thank you.
Right. Currently, I'm in Lagos, but come January, God willing, I'm planning to relocate to the UK. So
Oh,
part of why I reached out to you as somebody already there and how to navigate the waters of design over there. I think,
okay.
yeah. So
How are you
lastly,
coming? On what visa are you coming?
I'm coming on a postgraduate visa.
Oh, so you did your master's here?
I'm coming for my master. Yes, I had my undergraduate here. I'm coming for my
Oh,
postgraduate.
okay. You're coming, you're resuming your master's in January.
Yes,
You're coming
in
on a
January.
student visa.
Student visa, yes.
Okay. What course are you coming to study?
Electrical engineering.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay, that's really interesting. Okay. So, are you in the tech field? Are you into design?
Yes, I'm into design.
Hmm,
Yeah,
interesting.
yes.
So, why are you going to study a
Electrical
course in electrical
engineering.
engineering? Yeah.
All right. I studied electrical engineering for my undergraduate.
Mhm.
So when I was applying for postgraduate, I needed something that I've applied to other schools with different courses. I wasn't given. They said it's not matching my undergraduate background. So that's I just said, okay, let me just do what I already did in my undergraduate.
What course were you applying to in the other schools?
Okay, I applied for user experience design. I applied for cloud computing for one. So the
Hmm.
two of them, one at University of Derby, one at Nottingham Trent.
Hmm.
So they all gave me like a no answer that it wasn't matching my. I don't have a much background in it. So that was I
Hmm.
just thought, let me just go with what I did in my undergraduate, and immediately I got the admission. So that's just from like to use that pedestal to move into the UK while I get my design job exactly.
Hmm.
So
How long
that
have
was
you been in design?
close to 3 years now. I currently work with co-creation Hub here in Lagos.
Hmm. So I think something was wrong with your personal statement.
I
Because
think so.
if you have been in design for that period of time, you should easily get you should be able to easily get a master's degree in UX design. Interesting. Okay, well, except if your school has a way to has the course in it. What school are you attending now?
Glasgow Caledonian University.
Ah, Edinburgh, Scotland, I mean.
But you know this school?
I know a little bit about schools.
Wow.
I just know a little bit. I did a lot of research on schools. Okay, well, I hear Scotland is really beautiful. I've not been there myself, so well, good for you. I hope you have your accommodation sorted out.
Tentatively, I should stay with someone while I
Hmm.
sort out my own
For how
personal.
long?
Ah, just for a little time. Let me say little time.
Okay. I asked because accommodation is very, very tough to get here in the UK. I mean, you need a little bit of luck and God's grace
Yeah.
to get a good accommodation. But anyway, it's fine. So all right. Let's see. So I add a bit of a structure around how this is
Okay.
supposed to go. But since we've already started, you can just tell me about yourself. Tell me well more about yourself. What were you doing in the past? What are you currently doing, and what do you hope to achieve in the future? Like say in 2023. What are you hoping to achieve? Well, you've told me some of these things, but yeah, let's hear it again.
All right. Let me start from my name is John Olarinde. I my background started as a graphics designer when I was in school. I used to do a little of logo with current ones, some flyer designs. Later on, I stopped in my final year. So when during service year, I started front end. Like I started with HTML and CSS to some extent. It was after when I wanted to jump into JavaScript that I stumbled upon design. Like I was working in an in a company, and one of them was a UX designer. So out of curiosity, so let me just see what this is really what it really entails. So started self-learning till I registered for a boot camp along the way, and self-learning steps. I got my first job. So currently I work with Co-Creation Hub in Yaba. So I think I have a little experience that I need to, but what I want majorly is I want to work in an organization that is structured, where I can learn faster. Because what I've noticed the way I currently work is majority of my learning has been self-learned. I report to somebody in Kenya, but it's not being, oh, I have a boss that I can learn from. It's more like, oh, they just give me the task, I do it, I submit that all. So most of the time, I don't even get feedback from my direct boss. I get it from our CEO. So it's not like I'm learning from a structured person or structured environment. I'm learning on my own from resources here and there, but I want somewhere that I could learn from a mentor and also that a structure that works, that, okay, this is what we need to push out part-time, not organ-centered approaches. So basically, my goal in 2023 is to upskill fast and to understand how a full product works, like full product works, and learn at the same time from a mentor that will put me in like, okay, do it this way, this way. So that's basically what I want to learn, like achieve it come 2023.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. So you say you've been in product design for the past 3 years, right?
Yes, yes.
Mm,
We are pushing 3 in March,
okay.
March next year.
So almost 3 years.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have your CV and portfolio that I can look at here?
Yes.
Okay. Please drop
Um,
the link for me in the chat.
um,
But while you're fetching that, so have you been applying to jobs recently?
okay. In the UK, I registered on CV Library. So I applied to couple of some applications, but I've not really gotten like a positive response.
Mm, okay.
Not really. Then I'm still trying to get some applications sorted out. So it's not really allowed me focus, like put more energy into it.
You mean for your travel?
Yes, I'm focusing on the traveling and here and there. So that's not allowed me focus, like sit down and start structuring everything, like my cover letter and relax. So let me quickly upload my resume to a Google Drive.
Okay. No, there's a link of it here in your
Okay,
portfolio.
my okay. Is it the latest one?
I wouldn't know.
I'm coming, please. Let me quickly check it. I'll check it.
All right, that's fine. So, let's see. So you've been applying for jobs, but no response yet. Would you say you are a junior or mid or senior product designer?
I would say mid-level, not junior.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Would you say you're a creative person?
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say I'm a creative to some extent. Yes, yes, because I try to like come out with novel ideas. Like I think to some extent I'm creative. At the same time, I pick out ideas from what is existing. So I think I balance that creativity, personal creativity, and what is existing.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So you've been applying for job. You mentioned something about cover letter that you don't yet have one. I was going to ask
Yeah,
you whether you've been using cover letter to apply for roles.
yeah, I have one, but I think I still need to work on it. Let me put it like that. Like, I don't know what's really happening. I don't even recently in Nigerian jobs, I get to the like I was at the last stage at number and some other companies, but when I'm shooting for foreign jobs, I don't really get into the interview stage at all. I don't really understand what's happening.
Okay. Can you give me an example of these companies that you've been applying to?
Let me check my mails. I think there are tons of them in the
Okay.
mails.
Just give me like three
Okay,
if you find
okay,
them. So while you're doing that, I'm just trying to glance through your portfolio.
okay,
Uh,
okay.
So for your next role, what's your salary expectation?
Uh, I think I want, since it to be a foreign job, God's willing. I think I'm looking at something from 3,000-4,000 pounds
Okay,
minimum.
3 to 4,000 pounds monthly. What's the current salary? Do you mind sharing?
Right. My current salary without when they remove all the
Net, yeah.
RSA, yes, 390.
Okay. How much is your gross?
My gross 450.
Okay. The reason I asked for gross, I don't normally ask. I don't really care
Okay.
about gross. The reason I asked is because what you've mentioned as your salary expectation is most likely gross, because UK
Yes.
government will still take their own of
Okay.
it. So you should know that, for instance, if you're on a 3K salary, let's use that as an example. So 3K times 12 months, that's 36,000. So that's your annual income. Once your income is more than a certain amount, they will start charging you 40% of your salary as tax, as in yeah. So those are some things there are some certain things you need to know about the UK system before you come up with how much you want to earn and things like that. So not 40% of the whole amount. So there's an amount from your yearly salary that they call non-taxable income. So that's about 12,000 something. So they'll first deduct 12,000 something from your whole amount. So the amount on top is what you pay 40% of. So there's that calculation, and then it will not trickle down. So probably on a 3,000 salary. Okay, so it's not 40% for 30 something thousand. So I think it's from 40 something thousand, you pay 40%. For 30 something thousand per year, it's probably about to 20 something percent or 30% thereabout. But all the information is on the UK government site. That's one thing I love about the UK. Their government site is so detailed. Think about the topic, you'll find it there. Even your health. So
Hmm.
you can just make that website your friend from now on so that you don't make missteps. There's certain things, for instance, you can't do as a student. You can't be a freelancer. They must not
Wow.
catch you. Yeah. Being a
Hey.
freelancer is basically saying you're self-employed. And self-employed is one thing you cannot do as a student.
Wow.
You can only work 20 hours. So unless, even though I know this is being recorded, but if you are going to if you're going to do freelance jobs, you have to be a bit wise about it, because in the end, most of us came to the UK because of immigration. So that at the end, when you're ready, these people have records. They will dig out a record and they can deny you of your either your postgraduate visa or even your PR when it's time. So these people are very, very somehow. They're very detailed. So if you're going to even do any freelance job, you probably have to get someone that has the maybe a dependent, or gets not, or a friend, somebody that has the permission to be self-employed, and then maybe through them, maybe they register as a self-employed business, and then through them you can then be doing that job. But you just have to make sure you're by the book. That's just it.
Hmm.
So read them. If you just go to gov.uk and you just search for anything, you can even just Google and say what will be my take home pay, take home after salary UK, you to take you straight to the UK's site where you can just do a calculation. They have a calculator that you just enter. For instance, if my income is 40,000 pounds per year, how much would I take home monthly? To break it down, your yearly income, your monthly income, your weekly, to break the whole thing down for you. So that's that. Did you find those companies that you've been applying
Yes,
for?
I've seen like 2, 3 now.
Yeah,
Wealth Simple,
Wealth
Wealth
Simple. I think I
Simple,
know them.
Blue
Mhm.
Ground,
Which one?
Blue Ground,
Blue Ground.
Blue, BLUE Ground.
Okay, I don't know that one. Okay.
Um,
What
Let me
does
check.
Blue Ground do?
Ah, I've even
No, no, no,
forgotten.
no, no, don't bother. I just thought you knew it off it. I've already seen it on Google. I was messing with you. What else?
Okay, let me come in.
No, these two are even enough.
Okay. Fetch
This
rewards.
first,
Fetch.
fetch
Fetch. Fetch
reward.
rewards. Yes.
Okay.
The other one is papaya. Papaya.
Papaya. All right, that's enough. Let's see. So Papaya is a payroll company in payroll management. Fetch Rewards is, well, rewards app, basically for shopping, grocery, stuff like that. Blue Ground is, okay, furnished apartment, getting apartments, most likely an apartment, a property app, okay. Well, simple. This one is fintech. Okay, so for these companies, did you use a cover letter for your application?
Yes, I did. I
You
did.
have your cover letter. Is this something?
Yes.
Yes, please just fetch it for me and read it out.
Okay. Okay.
When you have it, please let me know. So
All right.
okay, on the other hand, um let me just tell you some things I have been noticing in your portfolio. So I think I like how you kind of structured out your portfolio. However, I'm looking at the project called Rosita African Cuisine, that
Okay.
one. And I like how at the top you put your roles in the project. Well, for one, I think you should change copywriting to UX writing. Copywriting
Okay.
is not specific to, well, UX writing is better suited, let me say, for UX design job, for apps and stuff. So um when I scrolled all the way down, I saw this picture of empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. So those are one of those useless things. Pardon my
Okay.
English. Those are
Okay.
one of those useless
Okay.
things I see in people's portfolios. I call it useless because how else are you going to do the project without
Hmm.
empathize, define? So it's just something to fill up the space. It doesn't give me any special information about the project or about you or nothing. No insight. It's just I don't know, it's just something. So there's no other way you're going to do the project if not this. So that's one thing I would say, get rid of. I would recommend that you look at your portfolio as a project, as a product. Do it, design your portfolio as if it's a product that you are designing for certain users, and those users are hiring manager. So
Okay.
if you need to do some research about what hiring managers are looking for, you need to do it just like you would do for a product. What are the pain points of hiring managers? What are they usually looking for in portfolio? If I was a hiring manager, what would be my interest in someone's portfolio? Will this portfolio actually catch my fancy? So amongst hundreds of other portfolios, you remember that as you're applying for the job, that's how several other people, maybe even thousands of people applied for the same role. So being able to sift between, so you need to know that these hiring managers and even initially recruiters do not have a lot of time. Probably they make their decision in just a few seconds. They would not,
Hmm.
I doubt they even spend up to a minute on each person's application. So you have to catch their attention really fast. And that starts by first having very high quality projects in your portfolio, only high quality projects. Do not put things there just for the sake of, I mean, if there are projects in your portfolio, go and review your portfolio again. I can see there are 7 projects here.
Yes.
If there's anyone that is not very high quality, get rid of it. If it remains only one project, in short, if it remains 0 projects, you know you don't have any high quality project and you know you had started from scratch. So that you don't end up applying for roles and then you get rejected just because you maybe you even have high quality project there, but maybe the one they click on, because you cannot guarantee which of your projects, which of the so many projects that the hiring manager will click on first. Like me now, I didn't click on the first one first. I think,
Hmm.
excuse me, I didn't click on the first project
Sorry.
first. I clicked on, thank you. I clicked on, I think, the second one. So a hiring manager might go all the way to the bottom and click the last one. And maybe that last one was when you felt, oh, okay, let me just add this one. And they'll judge you based on that. So only put very, very high quality projects. So two things, put only high quality projects. Secondly, think of it as a project, as a product. The same thing with your CV. Think of your CV as a product. Any irrelevant or uninteresting stuff in your CV, remove it. Don't just put things for the sake of, oh, this one makes sense. Let me just add it. Let me just add it. Okay. Then looking at your CV, there's something people do again when I see people's CV. It's just several
I think
things.
I've changed it. Can you check the one that is there now?
I should look at it from your
Let me
portfolio.
refresh it again. Yes, my portfolio. Yes.
All right. Let's do that. Okay. So, oh, whoops. So, there's something, okay, it's still here. Okay. So, there's something people do when I look at their CV. One of the things is you put the amount of years you spent. So I can see you say, savvy UX generalist and developer who spent 3+ years designing end-to-end experiences for web and mobile. So I have a lot of issues with that first statement. Number one, who told you you're savvy? It's one of those things we just say, like, we just say so that yeah, some people even say empathetic UX designer. Like, what do you mean by you're empathetic? What do you mean by you're savvy? Just say what it is. And then why are you saying you're a UX generalist? I understand what it actually means, but the message it sends is that you're a jack of all, a master of none. That's what I actually understand the meaning. In short, any Iron Man you will understand the meaning, but you need to also know that, like I said, think of your CV, your portfolio as a product. And if you do, you realize that users are emotional first.
Okay.
So we are feeling first. Yes, there's the brain part, but it's the feeling part that usually comes out first. So you need to speak to, well, honestly, you need to speak to people's feelings. So saying you're a generalist, well, and then also saying you're a developer, man, you're just sending me a lot of bells. Even if you're a developer, by the way, I'm actually an ex-developer. I used to write backend
Wow.
codes before. I used to write front-end codes. Now
Wow.
I'm a product designer, but you will not see me saying it in my summary. What I would instead say is focus on my work as a product designer. I would dig into that because that is the role I'm applying for. Meanwhile, somewhere down there, when we're in skills, I can, or maybe in skills or somewhere there, I can just fit it in that I have programming experience. That's just it. Or not even put it at all. Because if I
Okay.
can make it in, if I can convince the first person to look at my application, which is most times a recruiter or an HR
Okay.
manager, if I can convince that person first that I am worth one interview, is during that interview, I will sell myself and tell them, oh, I have developer experience. But the first person that's looking at my application is only interested first in my product design experience. So think of it from that angle. Yeah, so then saying 3+ years experience, you're telling me you don't have much years experience, even though 3 years is a lot of years. The only time I recommend for people to add the number of years is if it's like a lot of years, like 5 years, 7 years, and that's when it would like mean something. But 3 years, 2 years, there's no point. So try rework that whole summary. Focus more on your actual personality. What do people say about you? Think about it. What do people normally say about you? One way to say it, one way to write something like that is people that know me say this about me. You can say something like that. So I sometimes use that. But yeah, so you need to rework that part. Then another thing I noticed in your CV that might be making you lose certain job interest is something unexpected. And that is the fact that the two job roles you put there, you said you were lead product designer. That there, even though it sounds good, that yes, you led product design, but with 3 years of experience, leading product design, you're making it kind of sounds like you are the team lead, right? It kind of sounds like you're team lead for projects. So it might send a message like, this person does not really have much experience leading team. And then that's one message it might send, I'm just saying. But the second thing that I think that it would send to me if I was looking at your CV is that I would see it as, especially if you're not applying for a very senior role, I'll be like, you've led product design. Why would you want to come and work as a junior or a mid-level? Like, our job is too low for you. That is usually another thing. So what I would recommend is instead of saying lead product designer, you could actually just say product designer. Just say it, but maybe in brackets, you can say led, mention the name of the product. Led this product. So now you're not sounding like you are the lead product designer for the team, or you're now saying you led the design of a particular product, maybe within a team. Something like that. So just basically rewarding it. The same thing for the second one. I know what, okay, even though the second one, I know you said you led the team to carry out the overhaul, and that was 2021. So I'm just trying to say that you need to try to rework it. And then lastly, I've given a lot of feedback, honestly, and we're already out of time. But lastly, I would say that try to look, I like how you've even dropped the bullet points in your CV. It's really good. You focused more on impact. So try to also update your CV with the projects you've worked on, rather than, because I can see in your portfolio you have up to like 5, 6, 7 projects. How about updating your CV the way you documented the part of the experience you have? Just put everything on that one section. You can just say projects or work experience / projects, and just list everything and put your key accomplishments as well. You don't need to cram the whole of your CV into one page. It can be up to 2 pages. So also give it some space, let it breathe, because I feel like immediately I opened your CV, it felt choking to me.
Okay.
Yeah. If you need to reduce the words you've used, rather than maybe letting it go to 2, 3 lines, you maybe reduce it to 1 or 2 lines. Also, if you need to like maybe reduce the points from maybe 5 points to maybe 3 points, look at the most important ones, that's fine, but just let it be less choking. Okay, so I will not actually have the time to, we don't really have the time to hear your cover letter and to even review more. But what I've been trying to do is kind of like more of diagnosis, like trying to diagnose your experience, your projects, your life really, and trying to see if I can help you. This is actually meant to be one of several sessions. I'm having 4 other sessions starting in January, maybe first or second week in January. And these sessions will be focused on getting job. It will not be about what's product design. So it's not for 0-level beginners. Someone like you is appropriate. So it's also not for people that don't have any project at all in their portfolio. It's good. So it's about getting a job. Some of the things that we'll be doing would be showing you what platforms you actually need to be on, how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, because LinkedIn is the key to getting those jobs you are looking for, by the way. Reviewing your CV, I've done a lot of that already, assisting you in cleaning it up, like to the specifics. Cover letter. I was able to listen to your cover letter, but what I say about cover letter is that it's like your voice in the room. Cover letter is so important that you should be given the same level of priority as you give your portfolio, if not more. The reason is because the cover letter is one of the first things that an HR manager or a recruiter will read and be like, we want this person on our team. The first step of a recruitment process is usually a culture fit. Even if they will not call it culture fit, even if they'll put culture fit, most steps they'll put culture fit at the last stage. But the fact is, the first person that's speaking to you is usually not the hiring manager. It's usually a recruiter or an HR manager. And what those people can judge you on is not your technical skills, which means your portfolio might not really mean much to them. They might not really understand it. So what would mean much to them is maybe your CV a bit, but also your cover letter if you have it. That's what they would actually, if you have a good compelling cover letter, they will pass your file onto the next person. If not, so that's how important cover letter is, but a lot of people don't even understand that. So that's something else you'll be focusing on, trying to help you craft maybe 1 or 2 cover letters based on your experience, your interest, but also your personality. Then if you are proactive, you can assist with mock interviews, job links. Well, there are so many job links, but I'll be able to tell you how to tell the difference between scam jobs and what we call one chance jobs and real jobs. And then lastly, specializations in UX design. So you see how in your CV, you mentioned how you are a UX generalist. That's all well and good. You can do the whole parts of UX design, but there has to be something that you are most interested in, something that speaks more to you within the UX design field, whole field. It could be that you enjoy UI design more, or it could be that you enjoy research more, or maybe you are more of a strategist. There has to be something. So I'll kind of guide in helping choose your niche that is mostly based on your interest, but also about your personality. So those are things that the session will be about. Like I said, it will not be teaching the basics of product design. I will not be opening Figma and saying this is how to do blah, blah, blah. There'll be times I would see your designs and I'll have some pointers like, okay, this shouldn't be here, this shouldn't be here, but that won't be the focus. Also, I will not be doing it for anyone. I mean, I will not be helping anyone to actually redesign their CV. I'll be assisting, I'll be doing with, I'll be showing pointers and stuff like that. And what else? Okay, so the sessions starting in January, like I said, there'll be 4 sessions. Most likely first week, I'm not sure, first or second week. It's going to be a group session. It's going to be a very small group, maybe between 5 to 10 people, definitely not more than 10 people. And it's not free. It's a paid session. Okay. It's going to cost £100. And yeah, it costs £100. I don't know what that is in Naira now.
That's around
It's something on 90 something. Yeah, I don't think it's not 200,000.
Yeah, 90 something thousand.
Yeah, I think there's actually, as at a few days ago when I checked, I think the exchange was 800 and something, close to 900, but yeah, something around that. Also, I will send you an email with like summary of what we discussed, but also the next steps. In that email, you would see a deadline of payments for actually December 24th, which is on Saturday. But what I would say about that is, firstly, I put a deadline because there are certain things that you must do before you can join the session. It's not just about payments. It's also about some of the things I've already said to you, some things you need to correct. Those things must be corrected before you join the session. If those things are not corrected, I won't even believe you're part of my session. So secondly, yeah, that's the main reason why there's a deadline, because you probably need like a week or so to make all these amendments, and I would send a detailed list of things that you need to get ready. Also, about the deadline, this deadline has actually been for like 2 weeks, but because we are just having our session now, that's why you're probably just hearing it. Also, there are certain people that have messaged me saying, oh, please, can you give me an extension to mention a certain date? Or can I have this payment structure-ish? If it's something that is sensible and I'm able to do, I would say yes to it. So I'm just saying that, and that's on an individual basis. But I will send you an email today shortly. Okay. So maybe by afternoon you should get the email. But yeah, that is it for now. I know we're out of time, but do you have any questions?
Oh, you've really, really touched on a lot. And my question is just to appreciate you for taking time to jump on this. Yeah, that's just my own question. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, should I expect you in January?
God's willing. Something like that. God's willing.
Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, so let me know when you receive the email. Let me know, definitely. You would know your your time commitment, your pockets as well. So let me know when you receive the email if it's something you're interested in, so I can kind of pin you down, sort of. Yeah. All right. Like I said, I'd actually prefer to keep the session within 5 people. It's my
Okay.
preference. But depending on how compelling the extra people are, yeah. So it's good to chat with you, John.
Thank you
And
so
all the
much.
best on your relocation.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the best.
thank you
Bye.
so much. All right, bye.